Already. So, hello everyone. This is Dokur, and I'm a software quality engineer in the United States, working for a data company. And we have tens of microservices right now, and we are testing them using some testing frameworks. And there are different frameworks for that, but the one I'm working on recently is called KarateDSL framework for API testing, for web service testing. And that tool, to be honest, the guy who created that framework he did a great job, I believe, and it makes everything a lot faster and easier comparing to other API testing tools outside, right? So, and it provides also UI support within the latest release, and it also unifies different aspects of testing, right? UI, API, performance testing, plus mock capability for the dependent services. So in this video, it's going to be the first video, and there's going to be some incoming more videos, along the way. But I would like to just show the quick setup for that Karate API testing tool for test sample project, So to do that, I would like to go to File, and I'm going to say New Project, right? And from this, most likely you will be using Maven build tool, right? So you need to select this box, create from archetype, then add archetype, you're going to click. In the group ID, you can say intuit com.intuit.karate. And also artifact ID, it is going to be karate hyphen type. All right, then the version number it's going to be the latest one, which is 0.9.5. This tool is providing great solutions for out-of-box solutions and inline solutions for many things that would take a lot more time, and a lot more coding effort comparing to other testing tools available, like REST assured, like using other page object models or test ng approaches. This tool is great, and I really suggest, if you are doing some API or web service testing, and you should have a look at this framework. So let's say next, and we're gonna give it a name. Let's say sample project 1. Let's say, okay, and then you're gonna click finish. Then it's gonna bring the default structure for us with an example in it, and we're gonna look at that example, and then we're gonna have an idea. This karate actually is built on the BDD, like Cucumber BDD, right? The Gherkin syntax. It's like a Gherkin syntax. You on the feature files. It's like behavior driven, but there is no step definition that you need to write. It's only feature file. You can take care of everything within the feature files. There is a lot, of course, more that you can do, but 80% of the time, I would say, you don't need to write any single code for your API testing. So, because in a sense, it is just request and response, right? You need to validate request, and validating the request even easier than the response most of the time. And just response, what you can do with the response, right? There's authentication. It is provided out of box. There is mapping or field level validation or schema validation. There is a great thing that you can apply for schema validation, and also what else, like checking headers, checking bodies, right? And, you can pretty much do anything that you can think of for API testing. So this is our POM file, and we have these two dependencies already in place, which is enough for us to start. So in the test, in the examples, we have some features that we can see how it works. So again, this is like a feature file, like a regular feature file you can think of, like you use in in Cucumber, right? But it's not like Cucumber. It's not like true BDD, as the creator of this tool suggested. It is, I believe, way better than that. Again, whatever you see here, there is no step definition for all of them. Let me put the second scenario to the bottom first. We're just going to look at this first example really quick, first scenario, then we're going to continue with more complex examples later on. So in the background, we defined that URL, the endpoint we are going to test. This is an open API, right? And we can use this given when then keywords, and also we can use stars instead of them. So for example, I can make it like star. It would take place of that keyword. And I think this is cool. I don't even use those keywords anymore. So the path variable, it's like, as you might know, it is just, it's going to be part of the URL once we use the HTTP request method, right? Which is get in this scenario. And we are checking status here. These are some keywords that we cannot change. I cannot change this method. I cannot make this path to anything else. This is like reserved keywords for karate, right? And the syntax is really easy, nothing complex. And for this part, we can create some variables using def keyword. It's like, I think, define, or it's referring for that, I think. Then that's the variable name and this response keyword. So whenever our scenario come to line 9, use this get HTTP request. Then it's gonna have some response, either a success or error response, right? In return, then that whatever that response is, it's gonna be saved in this response keyword. So if you see that response.0, that means our response is a JSON array, so that we are getting the first object in the JSON array using the 0, right? Because it starts from 0 to get the first element. So first, let me run this, and we can have an idea how it works in the console, in the output below. It is 7 minutes already. Okay, so if you see that we have everything in the request header, response header, everything we are seeing, right? And we don't want to see them all. We didn't even request it for it. It logs everything for us. And to get rid of that, as first thing, there is this logback -test.xml class. I mean the file here. And then the log level here, you can change it to info. Then if you go back to your feature file and if you run this scenario again, we are just gonna see the result, nothing more. All right, let's check the results, and there you go. So we have 2 scenarios, 2 calls, actually not 2 scenarios, but 2 calls. I'm going to explain that in a minute. And they both passes, right? And we don't see any response or request or any headers for that. And if you look at the second part, we are making another call. You see that the get method within the same scenario, we are making another call. So basically what we did here, let me print this response. We can also, we have this print keyword as well, that we can print the response or request or whatever you want to print, or we can parse the response. Let me run this again. So you see, look at the output, the print, and it starts with the bracket like this, the tile, right? That means it's that our response payload is a JSON array, which has some JSON objects inside. This is our first JSON object, right? Look at this. Then it starts the second one. And if you look at this line that I highlighted, I am getting the first response, which is the one I highlighted below in the response, the first JSON object in the JSON array in the response, JSON array in the response. Then assigning this entire JSON payload, the first one, into a variable name called first. Then I am using this, look at this, there is ID keyword, you see here? And I am getting this value and assigning that in my endpoint to make another call. So that means when it comes to line 16, in this case, my endpoint will look like this. So I have my users, then I want to get the first user. So that means If I use the print keyword, print response again here, I will only see this object as the entire response. We are not going to see the other following JSON objects, right? Let's give it a try. And of course, I need to comment this, so it's going to be multiple print statement otherwise. So let's check how it looks like. Let me run this again. There you go. Clean, nice, fast, right? First object we are seeing, look at this ID one, right? And we can do many more things, but let's skip them for the other videos. So this is just for the beginning, and thank you guys for watching. So we will see in the next videos.